Let's just say he had enough of our little jokes. So he came over, he like ran over and he punched me. Like it wasn't like anything like hard or anything. He was like kind of small, but
Hey guys, this is Elijah Vargas from the Goal Swell podcast. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
My name's Filip, Szeszko. I'm a wrestler and a football player at Bartlett High School, and I like to wrestle and play football.
Hell yeah.
I'm Nick Barton, and I'm also a wrestler and football player at Bartlett High School, and I'm gonna be a junior next year, and yeah.
Both of you are juniors, right?
Yeah, we're both
that's
going
cool.
to junior year.
So, you guys both play, or you talking about you play wrestling, or you wrestle and you play football. So, are you guys doing the camps for that this year?
Yeah, we're both doing both of the camps for it.
How are those going?
Well, so wrestling starts tomorrow for first day of camp, and then
Yeah.
football last week was our first week, and it was definitely tough. It's definitely some hard work, but
Have you done both of them? Like, did you do them last year?
yeah, I did both of them last year
Okay.
too.
Did they overlap?
No, they actually wrestling is right after football every day,
Okay.
so
So
yeah.
how does that feel? Like, that sounds like a long day. and it
Yeah,
sounds really
it's a
hard.
long day because we get there at 7:30 or whatever it is, and then we end football at 11, and then you get like a little break before going to wrestling, and that's till I think it's 1. So
Yeah.
from 7:30 to 1, it's definitely a little rough, but
Yeah, no, I'm so glad I don't do that anymore.
yeah,
No, wrestling camp was fun, low key, but
yeah, it's
um,
definitely a grind.
yeah, it leaves you tired for like the rest of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're doing football. Before,
Yeah,
I can imagine
yeah.
that must have sucked.
Mhm.
So are you guys going to Malachek?
Yeah, we are.
You guys hyped
We
for
are.
that?
Yeah, it'll definitely be fun.
Can you kind of explain Malachek? I never actually went because I just missed it because of COVID. And
Yeah,
all that, so.
yeah. We've never went either, so this will be our first time. So, what it is basically is it's a 4-day like camp kinda, where there's like an individual tournament, and then there's also team tournaments and team duels that you do, and then there'll be like practice sessions and stuff with other coaches,
Hell yeah.
and then we get to go to like water parks and stuff in between, like.
Yeah, it's Chula Vista, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm
yeah,
pretty
you
sure.
Go there, do you go there like after you wrestle or something, like at the end of the day, or is it like in between?
I think it kind of depends. There's a schedule for it, but like there's like free time that you have that you could do whatever really. But
And you just share a room with other wrestlers, right?
yeah, I'm
Sounds
assuming
so
so.
That sounds
It
so
does.
crazy.
Yeah, it does sound like a lot of fun.
Is G going?
Yeah,
He is going.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
yeah.
So with that, and you guys are doing both of those camps, what does your like summer schedule look like? It sounds like it's hella busy.
Yeah, it's like just a lot of wrestling and football camp.
That's cool.
Monday through Thursday, and
So
just
yeah, that's damn.
yeah,
So Friday's like your free day.
yeah. Friday's a free day.
Is it the same with you, Philip? You got any other shit?
Monday through Friday, we just play football and wrestle, and that's about it. Like, on like the spare time, hit the gym, and just like
Of course, yeah.
just enjoy,
Yeah.
enjoy the break.
So you're hitting the gym after, but do you lift weights in? I'm guessing you probably lift weights in football and also wrestling.
Oh yeah, during football camp, like those lifts,
I heard those are wild.
they are wild, but like they get you sore, and like sometimes you have to take a rest day, which are good, but like.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel underfulfilled when I take too many rest days. You know what I mean?
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take a few steps back. I like going into my guests, like their background, who they are, so like everybody knows. And then when you guys say stuff later, it's like, okay, I understand why they're saying that. I understand like they have credibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So did you guys grow up in Bartlett, or where did you live if you didn't?
I grew up in Carroll Stream, so I always grew up playing sports for Glenbar North, like football, and I also wrestled a long time ago for Glenbar North.
Shit.
But during middle school, I transitioned to like Bartlett teams because I knew that's like the school I was gonna go to.
I grew up in Bartlett my whole life, and I played for Bartlett teams my whole life. Football. I played some basketball and baseball. really mostly a lot of sports, like all sports, but mostly played football my whole life. But yeah, I played for Bartlett.
Yeah, that's fire. So I remember, I think I met you in elementary school. Actually.
Yeah, I do remember
we
that.
were kind of like in a similar friend group.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. We
Yeah.
were like a few years younger.
Yeah.
I think we had like a mutual friend, but I don't really remember.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I
Yeah,
did
me
remember. I was like, I'm pretty sure you do live kind of close to me because I remember
Yeah.
you went to my elementary.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Yeah.
And for you, I know, dude, GBN's like one of the best, or at least when I was in high school, it was one of the best wrestling schools. I remember when like my freshman year, they were insane, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like all that shit. Did you see that when you were there? I mean, you weren't there in high school, but before, were they that insane?
Oh, they were rough. I was like, how old was I? I was probably like in 4th grade, and then it was like the roughest thing ever. They would make us, like, practice would end at 8. We would end like at 8:30, and like the last 30 minutes would just be tortured. It was rough.
8:30 p.m.
Yep.
Oh shit. That's crazy. So yeah, I hear a lot that like GBN's like a cult, with, like the golden circle and all that shit.
Yeah.
But
the golden dot.
Yeah,
that's
the
what
golden
it is.
dot. That's what it is. Nah. I don't know, man. I kind of like what we got at our school, but they got wins though. So I mean, I can't really.
Yeah, they got to be doing something right.
That's facts. So what elementary schools did you guys go to?
I went to Spring Trail. That's a school in like Carroll Stream, but it was nothing special. It just funny memories from like recess. We just play kickball every day, and we had to play like sports.
You got can you like explain these funny memories you got?
Okay, so basically, when we played kickball, right? The people that wanted to like pitch the ball were always like something else. So like people would on purpose try to kick the ball at the pitcher, right? And there's this girl named, I don't know if I should point out the name, but there's this girl, right? No one liked her, and she always like wanted to be pitcher, right? Then there's this kid. He kicked the ball right in her face. Oh, it was rough. She was crying, and just I don't know. It's
There's
rough.
just like lots of stuff that happened like that.
Oh yeah, like everybody would just like clown on each other. It was rough. I don't know how like the teachers allowed it, but it happens.
Nick, I know you went to Centennial. Do you got any stories that are just like wild from Centennial, if you remember them? Because I mean, I know a lot of people can't.
I mean, I have a few. I think one that was kind of funny to me was like one time in gym, like there's this kid. I'm not gonna say any names, but me and I don't know if you know him, Zach Richardson.
I think I know that kid.
Yeah, so we were both injured at the time. I think I just had surgery on my foot and he had something else. So we were sitting out in gym class. We were sitting in the corner. Everyone else was playing a game. And, we were just messing around because I think it was in 6th grade, I'm pretty sure. And we were a little silly in 6th grade. And so we were just messing around like with everyone else, like messing up the game, obviously, whatever. And then this one kid, he took gym class very seriously. And let's just say he had enough of our little jokes. So he came over, he like ran over and he punched me. Like it wasn't like anything like hard or anything. He was like kind of small, but then he like ran away after he punched me and he was like crying. And it was just pretty memorable because I was like in shock. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. Like it didn't like hurt or anything, but I was just in like shock. I was like, oh my God, what just happened? Yeah, because it's not like I was even like enemies with this kid. I was like friends with him, kind of.
Yeah.
But
you
it was.
Up, punch, and then run away.
Of another story. So this reminds me of another story. So one time in elementary school, I was going to the bathroom, right? There's like 2 urinals. There's a kid peeing on the urinal on the left, a kid peeing on the urinal on the right. So this is what happens. The kid peeing on the urinal on the right is just peeing, right? The kid on the left looks over. He starts getting like touchy, right? The other dude, like the kid so then the kid that got touched, he starts screaming. He runs out like the bathroom, right? And then he tells the teacher. Then the other kid starts crying, even though it's his fault. And I was just right there experiencing all that.
You just watched the whole thing?
Oh, it was rough.
That's crazy, bro. So, I know you guys were saying before that you played football like since a young age, and you were doing wrestling since like, I want to say you said 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
What other sports did you guys do? Did you do like baseball or soccer, stuff like that, or was it always just football and wrestling?
Well, it was football and wrestling, but like there's a point where I had to like quit wrestling because I had like a blood disease. But well, yeah. But besides that, I did gymnastics with
shit.
my whole football team when I was younger, and it was so fun. We just like abused like the foam pit, and it was just great times. But that's really it. I just played football, wrestling, and I just did gymnastics every once in a while.
Foam pits, like as in like at like trampoline places? Like
Yeah,
that?
it was called Palmer's Gymnastics.
Yeah.
The Palmer's Gymnastics, like the people that own that, they have like this kid named Brady Palmer. We used to play. He's so good at football. Do you know?
He's really good.
He's like,
I think he's ranked right now as a quarterback.
Holy shit, damn.
Yeah,
he's ranked as like he's going into sophomore year. No,
Oh yeah,
he's going to sophomore year, ranked in football. It's crazy.
Ranked in state, right? Or ranked?
Probably state.
Shit. Damn,
I know
that's
he's
crazy.
very good.
He's raw.
Especially as a sophomore, that's nuts. You got anything to add?
Well, so I played football my whole life, obviously, and wrestling I only did for 1 year when I was younger in like 4th grade, and then after that I was kind of bad, so I quit. I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of bad back then, but I played a lot of sports when I was younger. You know, mostly I played baseball a lot, like throughout. Like I started when I was pretty young, and then in 6th and 7th grade I played lacrosse. And then I played basketball my whole life too, but I was also pretty trash at basketball. But you know, I was just having fun.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, played on a few travel teams, but I was pretty trash.
I also played some basketball. I made the middle school team, right? Scored 0 points, all 7th grade, 0 points.
Yeah.
The coach only put me in because we're like good, so like we'd be blowing the team out and like put me in at the end.
Yeah.
Basketball's just not for me.
Me neither.
Dude, I used to love basketball, but I was so shit.
Yeah, that's why we play wrestling now. That's why we
That's why
wrestle.
we play wrestling.
Play wrestling.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When I was younger, I was tall from like a very young age, so people just wanted me on their team, but I sucked at getting rebounds, and I thought I could shoot threes, but like I thought it was Curry or something, but I was so bad. I was horrible.
Do you remember Conrad from elementary school?
No,
How he was so tall.
From,
I know.
the get-go,
He was like 5th, 6th grade, like 6 foot something already.
It was great. No, I think
Like-
it was like, so 5th, I want to say like 3rd grade he was already 6 foot. And
Yeah.
Like 6th grade he was like 6'3".
Probably.
We were like,
He
"Yo,
was.
what?"
Yeah, like this guy's just meant to be
He was
D1.
already dunking. Like he didn't even
I
need
know.
his jumper or anything.
Yeah, he was just so
Those
tall.
hoops were so low.
Yeah.
Bro, it was so crazy.
I know. He
we were
was-
just messing
He was
around.
just always tall.
Did he go to base? I don't remember.
I think he might have
I
for a
think he did
year.
like a little bit,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure.
Mhm.
So base was like the after school program at Centennial where we went.
Mhm.
But yeah, there'd be kids like him that just came out of nowhere, like, and then they disappear after a little bit.
Yeah.
It was
Well, that was always fun. We'd play
Yeah, for
play
real.
games, whatever, play sports.
When did you guys meet? And
We
can you
met.
explain like the story, if there's like a story or something.
So we met in 6th grade or 5th grade, something like that. It was either 5th or 6th grade. So we first like met through football, like Raiders. So Philip joined the Raiders, and you know I've been playing Raiders for a while. He'd been playing Panthers in Glenbard. So you know we kind of like knew each other then. We weren't like really that good of friends or whatever. But really, what like made us become like better friends was I think it was 6th grade probably. We started working out together at this place called Total Performance.
Oh, shit,
Yeah.
I love that place.
Yeah, so our football team would go there at first, and you know there would be more people. Then it ended up just being me and Philip that would go, and we went for like a year or two straight together, like pretty much every day. So then we came pretty close then because we were together every day, and then we would always mess around, have fun there,
Yeah.
and obviously work out. But
Did you ever? Because they have like boxing stuff. Did you ever try that?
Oh yeah, we would like
Yeah.
use the punching bags and
Yeah.
The little punching bags, but it was always a good time there. We'd always have fun, mess
I love
around.
that gym, dude.
Yeah,
I always wish that I could go back there. 'Cause
Yeah.
dude.
it's a lot of fun.
I'd go there like a few times a week,
Mhm.
and I remember like my squat like maxes would go
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
quickly. Same with like deadlifts.
Yeah,
and
because
cleans.
we would have the trainer Brian.
Yeah, dude, Brian's
Yeah,
so nice.
he
I love
is.
that guy.
He is funny. And then we would also, when he wasn't with us, we'd have this one other dude.
Yeah.
We'd call him Big Dude because he would never tell us his name. But he was
That's
always funny.
Right next door they have a jiu-jitsu place, and I was there for like
Mhm.
I say this like almost on every podcast, but I did jiu-jitsu for a summer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's what got me into wrestling.
Mhm.
Or it was one or the other. Either wrestling got me into that, or I don't know. I just wanted them to like add on to each
Yeah,
other.
they kind of do like add on to each other.
Yeah, the
somewhere.
thing is, like, I remember my freshman year, I was coming off of that summer of doing like jujitsu,
Hmm.
and then when I started wrestling, I was putting like Caleb in headlocks and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I started going live with Caleb, and I kept like not pinning him, but putting him in like arm bars and shit.
Submissions.
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
yo, that's illegal. Whoa, tap, tap, tap. Like, what do you? That was
That's funny.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know the rules at all. I was just like,
Yeah.
I mean, all I had seen was like WWE. So I'm like, yeah, there's
Yeah.
submissions in that. So
Yeah.
I can't submit right now. I don't get it.
Yeah.
So
It is different.
when did you guys start lifting? I know you said that you were lifting around like.
So I think I started like around 5th or 6th grade when we started going to Total Performance. And that was from our football team because, like, our football coach, Coach Gilly, he, like, pushed us to go to there, to get strong or whatever. So I started going there, and I really just never stopped. And then got a membership for a gym and just never stopped lifting, really.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You too?
Yeah, but like before that, I used to just go to like Lifetime, just to like swim, and I'd like do some random machines. I'd do like a full body workout. Actually, I have no clue what I was doing. Like I was doing something right, and then I went to Total Performance. I met Nick, and then became close, and then now I go to Charter or CFX actually.
Yeah. I've heard, there's been a few people on my podcast that go there. I think Kyle sneaks in there. There's a few other people. I'm not sure. I don't remember who, but yeah, no, there's a lot of people that go to Charter too that I know.
There's quite a few.
Especially wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A few episodes ago, I think Kim said that she goes there, but yeah, no, there's a lot of wrestlers.
Yeah,
that
they're
go
trying to stop people from sneaking in. They're
Yeah.
getting so strict on it right now.
there. That's funny.
But
Wait, at Charter or CFX?
Charter, like it used to be named Charter, but like they changed it to CFX.
Oh, okay. So
So-
I'm just dumb.
But like but we still call it Charter because like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what we knew it by.
Damn. So what does CFX stand for? Is that like
I have no idea.
Charter Fitness X?
No clue.
That's funny. Okay,
No clue.
okay. So what's like your? So did you guys start lifting? Right now when you guys lift, is that for yourselves or is that for like lifting for sports?
Well, like by myself, I usually just train for like strength, and sometimes I do like some bodybuilding days and stuff. But like I really just care about strength. As long as like how much, like if I have a lot of weight moving up and down, then I'm fine, Like I also want to look good too.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like that's kind of like a byproduct of wanting to be strong.
Yeah, like I feel like I try to split like my training up like equal. Like I try to do some strength days and some like bodybuilder type days, but like honestly I like training like more. I mean it depends. Like I like just training like a variety because like I feel like it gets boring if you just train one way for like a long time. So just try to switch things up, train strength, and then go lighter with like more volume some days.
Yeah, I think that also depends on like if you're cutting or if you're bulking too.
Yeah, that is true. But lately, I think we've both been trying to bulk a lot, for football. And then I'm sure once wrestling season comes around, we'll have to.
It's gonna suck.
Yeah, we'll have to cut a lot.
My bulk has been crazy. It's been called the Taco Bell bulk. So you see, like, this is how I put on like 10 pounds in 2 weeks. So first I had to get the calories in somehow. So I'd eat like Taco Bell, like towards like the beginning of the day, then McDonald's towards the end of the day. It's like easy calories. You have to do what you have to do. But like gaining all the weight for football and then losing it for wrestling.
Yeah,
That's rough.
It's rough.
dude, I need to start a cut, bro. I think I've been bulking for a little too long, and I said I was gonna start a cut, but Coach Matt said that I have a beer belly, so I gotta.
That's true.
I gotta get rid. I gotta
That's
slice
funny.
slice that bitch off. Like, So what's your guys' lifting goals for right now? Whether it's like weight or if you're like looking for like a chiseled body or something like that.
Well, I want to hit like 160 pounds because like right now I'm at 150, and then I want to hit like 205 on bench soon. 205, 405 deadlift and squat. I've not been squatting.
Me neither, bro. I need to get back.
I hit legs. Like I do light squats. I don't know why. I just have been focused on deadlift.
But I mean, my goals are actually pretty similar because I'm at 150 right now too, about 151 maybe. But I want to try to be about 160 by the start of football season. And for bench, I want to try to 225 by the end of summer. That's my goal really, because I'm at about I hit 185 for 2. So, and then for deadlift, I also want to try to go for 405 like by the end of summer probably, maybe a little later. But and then squat, I just haven't squatted in a while either. Like, squat is not my favorite exercise, to be honest.
Oh, except for like Platts, whose is it?
Tom Platts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Gerald. Actually, I could see Gerald. That's probably Gerald's favorite.
Yeah, probably. Gerald does squat a lot.
Barefoot.
Yeah, barefoot. Yeah, it's funny.
It's so funny to watch. He does it barefoot, and he also does like deadlift. Like, sumo,
Yeah, I know.
Real
I know. Yeah.
It's so
Sumo is easier though.
Yeah, 100%.
I love doing sumo a lot more. Conventional just hurts my back whenever I try to pull heavy weight. Like even if I try to keep good form, it's just still.
It's hard. It's really hard. Even
Yeah.
with the belt, it's like,
Yeah.
It's really hard to do.
It is.
Have you guys noticed a difference in your performance in like wrestling or football because you started lifting, or like as you lift more, have you noticed that?
I mean, yeah, as you just put on muscle and like gain strength, you just become more dominant, I guess, like faster too, and just overall just better, honestly.
Yeah. So do you like throw people around? Like, are they do they feel lighter and stuff like that?
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like honestly, like for off-season wrestling, we both did off-season wrestling. Like I've been wrestling like a little heavier, I didn't really cut for it much, because it didn't really matter too much. But like even like wrestling heavier people, it's like still like I could like hold my own, like, and like I could feel like how much stronger I got, Like,
Yeah.
because I was around the same weight last year too, maybe like a little lighter, but like you could just tell how much stronger you got, because you could just throw people around so much easier.
There's like nothing better than just manhandling a kid on the field.
Yeah, dude. No, I feel that.
And watching it back on like the highlight. Oh, it's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy. You just like completely manipulate them 100% when you're. I've like my last match at regionals against like that West Chicago kid. It was basically that. Like it's surprising that at our hard regionals I was able to throw that kid around like I did.
Yeah.
And eventually I got a pin. I don't know how. I was like nobody else got a pin.
Because like manhandling other men.
It's not
Pause. Like manhandling other men. That just like increases like your own testosterone. It has to somehow.
Yeah.
Because like
It's like I don't know how to explain it, but I know what you mean.
yeah,
Because you're like showing dominance towards other,
exactly.
kind of. Pause.
Pause.
So do you guys enjoy football or wrestling more, and why?
All right, so this is like a hard question to answer, I think, at least for me, Because I've played football since I was 4 years old, and I've only been really wrestling since freshman year. I wrestled once when I was a little younger. So, like, always I love football so much more. And, I wanted to go to the NFL when I was a kid, whatever. But, like, really lately, like, I've been liking wrestling a lot more. Just because it's, like, you kind of decide, like, how good you are. And not, like, your weight or your strength. Like, strength a little bit in wrestling, but, like, just like height and everything, and like it's kind of like coaches don't like really matter as much, because if you're good in wrestling you're good, but in football height and weight like plays a big factor.
Yeah, you just kind of like build your own craft. Like it's just you versus someone else. That's why I think I like wrestling a bit more, because football you have to depend on other people, but who do you have in wrestling? It's just you out there.
That's my thing. That's why I like combat sports a lot more now. Because before, I mean, like I said, I used to like basketball, but when I played basketball, I always liked to play like 1v1 or like the smallest teams possible. I hated 5v5 because I couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
it's like,
and you don't like get the ball.
You don't get the ball and all of that. So I like combat sports because at the end of the day, you're on the mat or you're in the ring or wherever you are. It's you against one other guy. Mm-hmm. And it's also you against you, because you have to like overcome your fear of like getting injured, getting hurt, and all of that.
Yeah.
And the other guy is in there, and he has the same exact fears that you do. So I think it's like the most pure form of the sport.
Yeah, I think mentality just like plays like a big part in like especially wrestling, because like if if you don't want to cut those extra 5 pounds, or whatever, like for me and Philip, like going into fresh off regionals, we both like cut like around 10 pounds. It paid off, enough. We made it to sectionals. Both were like really close to state, and it was pretty good. But like some people just don't want to go like the extra mile, like show up to the Saturday practices or whatever. And it's really just it's a big mental game.
I remember my freshman year, there would be nobody at the Saturday practice.
Yeah.
There would be everyone would get, like, the coaches would get so mad. Even this year, I think it's a bit better. Like, I've seen it because I've gone through like all 4 years, but I think it gradually got better as kids got more and more afraid of their coaches. Yeah, I feel like Coach G has done like a good job, like especially like post-COVID, I saw a huge difference.
Yeah. I feel like they're just, more scared of the coaches now. The coaches push like working hard more now. Like,
Even like having teammates like Kyvan.
Yeah.
Who, like, just like call you out in the group.
Yeah.
Like, where were
yeah.
you? Stuff like that. Even like that's a good thing though.
Yeah, Kyvan, he's funny.
Yeah, I gotta get him on.
Yeah, you definitely should.
I've been waiting since like the end of this. Not even the end of the school year. Like. The last 3 months of the school, I've been trying to get him on.
He's a busy guy, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's
yeah.
So what made you guys decide to wrestle in high school?
Well, so at first for me, I did not want to wrestle, because it was after football season just ended, and I didn't even plan on playing any other sports than football in high school. I just wanted to play football. But then Coach Z was our coach freshman year. And, so when the season ended, he was pushing so hard for every single person to come out and wrestle. I didn't want to at first, and I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. And then, like, of course, I ended up going. And I ended up liking it, or, like, not, like, hating it. So I just ended up keep going, and I ended up liking it.
Hell yeah.
That's how I was. Instead, like, I was, like, sure that I wasn't going to wrestle. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. But then Samay was like in math class. He was like, "Yo, you gotta wrestle. Look at me, I'm gonna wrestle." I'm like, "Okay, nice." And I'm like, "All right, you know what? I'll just go and see. If I don't like it, I'll just like not do it." But like I ended up liking it too much to like quit.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. No, for me it was like I said with like jiu-jitsu. And I had a striking background because I was telling you I was doing a little boxing at Total Performance Factory. I do taekwondo too, so You know, I have a big like striking background, and I'm like, bro, I gotta mix it up. I gotta add some grappling, and that was when I did jiu-jitsu, and I was building that base to start wrestling. And then I wrestled, and I was doing illegal moves and shit.
Once you could strike and grapple, you're a machine.
Yes, sir. I mean, I'm a better striker than I am grappler. I mean, you guys could probably tell. Just by looking at my wrestling, I mean, I'm not the best wrestler out there.
Do you watch the MMA?
I watch a lot.
Or UFC?
I saw a John Jones fight, and I watched like that whole card, and then I watched a few other ones. I think it was like, I'm gonna say 285, 286, 287. I don't remember which ones.
I love watching the UFC. It's entertaining. The energy.
Yeah,
like
man,
everything.
I love it. There's like nothing like that. I gotta get like. I gotta watch it like more regularly because it's awesome.
It is.
Everyone, and I like how everyone has like a story. You come in and everyone has a story. It's not like when you watch basketball, it's like they're just screaming out names. Like there's like 5, you know, like there's like 20 people, or I don't know how many people on each team. It's like there's 5 on the court, but like there's more on the bench.
Yeah,
so There's way more people, and they can't just tell you, oh, this guy came from like freaking like Africa, and he just grew up there, and he's playing basketball in sandals, you know. So it's like they don't really tell you. They don't really tell you that unless it's like Giannis or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But they always do that with like UFC, and I think that's awesome, and I love it because you get like the full story. You know who it is, and you can root for him because of that. So what do you guys enjoy about wrestling? Because I know you said that you started wrestling and you were like, I really didn't want to do wrestling, but what made you guys decide that?
Well,
or what made you, what do you enjoy about it?
That's a good question. I don't enjoy anything about it. Nah. I don't know. There's just something about it where like you just don't know.
It's like trapped, but like
it's addicting.
Yeah,
there's like nothing better than like winning and just like the feeling of like hitting a move. The satisfaction you get from it is something else.
That's well described.
Yeah, I feel like just what he said. Like it's just like like when you win, like it's just like the greatest like thing ever. Like you just feel like so good because like when you win a game like football or something, like you won as a team. Like but when it's just you out there versus another person, like it's just it's just 100% you. And like that's why some of the losses too are like really really hard. But like you know when you win, it's just like the greatest thing ever. And I think you know like the grind too, just like just gotta love the grind.
When you win, it's 100% your fault, and it's the same thing when you lose.
Yeah.
It's 100% your fault. So like, you can't blame your teammates that don't exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's another reason why I love. I love
it's just on you.
I love sports like it. So what is your guys' favorite wrestling victory that you had this year or any year?
I would have to say it was probably when we won against Mateo Valley Wabanzi Valley.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'd say that had to be my favorite because it was only like it was one of my first matches on varsity. It was only like my third or something. And it was under the lights too. All the lights were turned off except the center light. You know, so I was already so nervous going to the match. And the kid was also a captain too, so I was even more nervous. I thought I was just going to get destroyed and like embarrassed, you know, because everyone's watching. And so I was losing most of the match, and I was down by like 10 points in the third period with like a minute left. And then I hit a big move. I got a 5-point move, and then I got reversed, and then I got back up. And so I'm pretty sure I was losing by 4 points with 30 seconds left. Everyone's screaming at me because I just hit a big move, and so like people are like thinking I could actually win. I'm so gassed at this point, you know, and I'm just trying everything I can. And then I ended up hitting, you know, my famous move, like me and Filip's famous move, the lat drop. And, you know, I pinned him with 4 seconds left or something like that, and I won. And you know, it just felt great, you know, because losing the whole match, I didn't think I was gonna win going into the match. You know, everyone's screaming. one of the first varsity matches ever. Like, it's just a great feeling.
Yeah, dude. Low-key, that might have been my favorite match. I don't know. That might have been, like, just watching that was, like, insane, bro.
It was really
That was
great.
insane.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It was hard to, like, imagine, like, that it was real.
I know.
That
It just
actually
felt
happened. It
unreal.
was crazy.
It was crazy.
Philip, do you have any matches that were, like, your favorite, if you could choose?
I don't know. I wouldn't say like I have like a favorite match. I just like the close matches, like the one point matches, the ones that like
those are the
you're-
ones that feel good.
you're exhausted, and then you win them, you pull through. Those are
Yeah.
like something
Like,
else.
when you beat somebody you weren't supposed to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love those matches. When you go up there and you just hear, like, Gura in the corner, he's like, dude, I just fucked. He fucked. I could wrestle, I just fucked. And then you go out there and you win, and then, bro.
It does feel good.
No, I love that. Every time that happens, it's like, I don't know, man. It's something else. There's, like, no feeling like that.
mm.
What's your favorite? So we talked about your favorite wrestling victory. What's your favorite wrestling story? Because I know that, like, there's a lot of stories from, like, each season. You know what I mean? You gotta think about it.
Yeah, I do have to think about it too. But favorite wrestling story. I don't know. I generally have to think about this. But like if I have like time to think, I'm sure I could get in like a good
So,
story.
you know, like the one that I mentioned earlier was at the West Chicago meet when we were. I think. No, they called Rice, and he was still.
I remember that.
He was still in the bleachers, and he came. I think he had like rice cakes in his hand or something.
Probably. He had just eaten spaghetti. I remember that.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And he was still had like pajama pants on. He was coming down.
Yeah.
And when he finally started wrestling, dude, he threw up like 3 times, bro.
That was
I was like,
hilarious.
I think that might have been one of my favorite stories, but
Yeah.
you know, there were some pretty crazy things that happened this season and
Yeah.
previous seasons. You know what I mean?
Well, a good memory I have is it wasn't really during the wrestling. It was I don't remember what team it was against. It was a home duel, but I'm pretty sure we ended up winning. And me, Philip, Kyvan, and Rocco. Kyvan ended up taking all of us to Chipotle after, and we met like Gura. And I think you might have been.
No, I don't think.
No, it was Gura and then someone else, Rice, and it was fun. And I think that was also the day that Philip, was that the day that you overflowed the drink thing? It happened
Chipotle?
twice. Yeah. That was, so Philip could tell it. But.
So this is what happened. So like they have like the berry agua frescas, right? And then I think the reason like the drink broke is because I asked for a water cup, right? And then I used that water cup to get like the agua frescas, and I'm sure that was just like karma hitting me, and like the whole drink was just spilling
And
everywhere.
it wouldn't stop.
It just wouldn't stop.
And that happened twice. It just happened recently again. So we were hanging out with me, Philip, and a couple of friends. His girlfriend and then another friend too. And so we were just getting Chipotle, and again we both got water cups. I think I got like lemonade or something. He decided to get a different agua fresca, because they have the special lemonades. He decided to get one of those, and he started to get it, and then it started overflowing, and then it wouldn't stop. And then the lady had to come out, and she was kind of yelling at him like, "You got the water cup. Why are you getting this?" Like. And it was just really funny. And it just keeps happening to fill up. But.
Yeah, I have a lot of stories too with Yazan, but like a lot of those stories, with Yazan cannot be told.
The one at regionals,
The fact, like, remember when he the kid he lost to in like sectionals, I think, or he fell down the stairs and went viral on TikTok.
We were right behind him, so we were right behind him watching.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, they sent to the group chat. We didn't know it was being recorded or anything, so we were just sitting there watching. And then he just tumbles down the stairs, and like everyone gets up and like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Because like it looked bad.
How did he fall? I forgot.
He just tripped. Like he literally just tripped like down the stairs.
Bro, that's funny.
And then like a couple months later, we ended up seeing like him like on TikTok and had like 2 million likes.
What?
Yeah, and I'm like, what the? Like it literally looked like it was being recorded from us. Like he was right in front of us.
Dude, that's
It was
funny.
just- yeah, it was pretty funny.
I can't believe Yazan lost to that kid.
Yeah, Yazan had just lost that kid earlier in the tournament. Like,
And that
it-
kid just filled down all the stairs.
Yeah.
Dude, nah. I just had a clip kind of blow. I mean, it was at 130K last time
Wow.
I checked. Yeah, it was from this podcast actually. So
Ah.
that was my first one that blows up. So I'm hoping, I'll get a few that blow up. I have a lot of really good clips that I haven't posted yet.
Yeah.
Dude, I counted and I have like 24 clips that are unreleased.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll have like I'll have a few more with you guys, and then
Yeah.
I got a few more groups this week and next week. So we're going pretty good. This podcast is gonna make it, bro.
Yeah.
We're gonna
That's
make
good.
I
it.
believe in you.
That's
I believe in you.
Who do you guys look up to? Whether it's on the wrestling team, anywhere else, who do you guys look up to in wrestling?
That's a good question, cause like, to be honest, a lot of the seniors weren't like very like good examples,
Yeah.
But to be honest, I look up to Kyvan in a way, cause
Yeah.
especially this year on varsity, he was kind of the leader. He was like really the good person on our team. And he, like, as much as he did make jokes and laugh and everything, like, he did work really hard.
Yeah.
And he showed up every day. Even if he was a little late sometimes, he still showed up, worked really hard, put in a lot of work. So I think I do look up to him in that way.
I would say I looked up to Jacob Kacharski. Jacob Kacharski's my idol. He's a good inspiration.
He's a good
I don't know about good inspiration. It's fun.
For me, I mean, I always kind of like looked up to Burgess.
Yeah,
I think it
Burgess.
was, yeah, Burgess, and then I don't want to say I looked up to Kyvan, but I admired like what he was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I always looked up to Burgess, and I always looked up to Coach Matt.
Yeah.
Like I respect the hell out of Coach Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't even
we
need to
both
be there.
do. Uh-huh.
And bro,
It's
the
not
amount of
even
experience
paid.
he has, it's just you. Like,
I know.
You can't not.
You gotta listen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's definitely my favorite wrestling
Yeah.
coach, like in general.
Dude,
But-
whenever like Coach Matt gets disappointed in you, it's like the worst feeling, bro.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah,
I
it's
just feel so bad.
like he just has a way of making you feel like, damn, like
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, because he's seen so many wrestlers go
Yeah.
up and go down, and it's
Yeah.
like, bro, he's disappointed, man.
Like-
oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like we.
Sometimes the talks after the matches are just,
Oh.
those are
Yeah.
those are not pleasant when you lose a match that you should
I
have
want to get
won.
him on. I should
Yeah.
get him on.
Oh, yeah.
He said in the group chat that he would.
He would?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I gotta
Yeah.
get him on. I was thinking, dude, I put it in the group chat that I should get him and Kyvan on.
Oh
And
my
I was like, bro,
god.
that would be crazy.
That would probably be the best podcast.
Yeah,
I would
that'd be
have to
funny.
watch that.
Him, Kyvan, bro, but I feel like I'm gonna be there like that. I don't know. It's him and Kyvan. I
Him
feel
and
like
Kyvan could just talk for like
Yeah.
hours and hours.
Like, do I
about-
even need to be there? Like,
No.
low-key, I don't even.
They could talk about nothing for hours.
Yeah. That would just be
Like
fun.
Kyvan alone could just.
I was thinking like, so before that I was like, what if I did Kyvan and what's his name, Ryan Ritchie?
Oh, yeah, that would be
Yeah.
good.
I think those two
Mhm.
would be good. But
That
then
would
I
be
was
funny.
like, just today, Micah said, "Why don't you do Kyvan and Coach Matt?" I'm
That would
like,
be-
that would be funny.
That would be hilarious.
Like, both of them would be funny. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be.
What has wrestling taught you about life?
It just taught me to work really hard, and like just hard work pays off, because the work you put in is like the stuff you're gonna get out. Like you put in the extra practices in the off season. You go to off season tournaments, camps. Like it'll show in the season, and like I feel like that's a big reason why me and Filip were on varsity this year. We just put in a lot of work in the off season, whether it's lifting or going to extra practices and
Yeah.
tournaments.
I definitely saw that. Like, as a senior, I kind of like, I admired you guys for that, because I know
Yeah.
I saw you guys going to all the stuff You guys even got a ride from me to like
Yeah.
Lombard
Oh,
West.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
crazy. That was a crazy one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was like, I wish I had the time to do all that. Like, okay, like.
Yeah. It takes a lot, but it's worth it in the end.
And I saw the results. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw the results. You guys are both like really good by this year. Like
Yeah.
your guys'
Like-
sophomore year, you guys were like. I know, like, some of the seniors, some of the juniors are like, oh, yeah, don't, Philip and Nick's, they suck. But I'm like, no, dude, they're pretty good. Like, especially, like, you guys going to, like, first off state and shit, that's crazy. Like,
yeah. I think it'll all just, pay off. We keep working hard. And it's just a grind over time. It won't happen overnight. Just gotta keep going.
I feel like what Nick said, the more you put in, the more you get out, and it teaches you how to be disciplined. Cause like, it's like life, you know. You work hard, and then, like, after all the time you work hard, you get something out of it, and like that's.
Sometimes it doesn't always work out too.
Sometimes like there's always bumps in the road, but it's like how you overcome them.
Yeah.
And how you become. It makes you a better person in general, and that's what you need in life.
Yeah, so what I want to add to that is kind of like what we were saying earlier about like self-accountability. So if you win, it's your fault, and if you lose, it's your fault. So it's the same exact thing in life. So I always preach that, like, whenever there's anything wrong that happens in your life, blame yourself, and then later that thing won't happen again. You know what I mean? So the like example that I always use is like, if it's raining, and you get wet, that's your fault. You could have packed an umbrella. You could have left earlier. You could have left later and stuff like that. You could have planned. You could have checked the weather. You could have done all that. So it's always self accountability. That's what'll like get you farther in life than like a victim mentality where you're like, oh, my teammate did it. Yeah. Oh, it's somebody else. Oh, they did this to me. But you could be saying, oh, I need to do this in order to get this back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my outlook.
Yeah, because in wrestling it's just you, and when you get in the real world, it could just be you too.
Exactly. I mean, you might have a family, but at the end of the day, we're men. We're supposed to provide, protect, and do all that. So, we're supposed to like even women. Everyone's supposed to have like self accountability to some extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have anything to add, though? So do you guys plan on wrestling after high school?
I mean, if I have the opportunity to, then I'll gladly take it. But you have to.
So if you get a scholarship, you'll do it. But if you don't get a scholarship, then no.
I mean, like, yeah, cause like I don't know if I'm gonna be a coach or anything. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see where wrestling takes me.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of, the same thing for me. Like, if I get an opportunity to with a scholarship or whatever, I'd love to, because, I really enjoy wrestling. But, like, if I don't, it's not the end of the world. Like, if I have kids one day or whatever, I might, like, help coach or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
And I honestly think, it's also, like, you guys already, like, took away, like, the life, what's it called? Like, life lessons from wrestling. You already did that. Where, I mean, you guys should obviously finish your last 2 years. I mean, I'd say you guys should wrestle. Because, I mean, what else are you guys going to learn? But you guys are definitely going to learn more. But you guys are already taking away life lessons. So once you get into college and wherever you guys are going, you can take these lessons that you got from wrestling. You don't really necessarily have to do wrestling past that, because you already have those lessons, is what I'm trying to say. So if you guys are going to do sports or other like activities like wrestling or anything like that after college, what would they be?
Well, I'm gonna keep lifting, obviously, and everything after, college, everything. But like, if I were to do anything, it would probably be wrestling. I enjoy football, but to be honest, like, I'm just not getting any scholarships for football. It's just too small. Yeah. But like, if I get the opportunity to wrestle, I would, and I don't know. I find jujitsu pretty interesting, so maybe like I'd get into that. Like, you know, just see what I could do.
What's the question?
So, if you were to do like sports or other activities, maybe like you said, like lifting after high school, what would they be?
Oh, I'm just keep lifting and I don't know. I'm gonna just keep a healthy lifestyle. Just keep lifting.
Yeah, stay away from that what's it called with the overflowing. What was that drink called? Just stay away from like unhealthy stuff. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Stay away from the Tito's.
Yeah. Stay away from that. So how often do you guys think about like your future, plan for it, and stuff like that?
How often I think about the future?
Yeah, like how often do you like plan your future?
Oh, I think about it a lot, cause the future, you like if you want something in the future, you have to like get it. You know, it's just nothing's gonna come to you. So like,
Of course.
I'm just hoping I'm gonna have a good future, and then I don't know. I just haven't planned it out yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like planning out my future because I don't want to just be like a feather in the wind. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? So like I wanted to be successful. I want people to know who I am. So I started a podcast. And I wanted to learn from people. So I started a podcast so I can talk to people from different backgrounds who have different experiences than me, stuff like that. So, that's basically my answer to that question. Answer my own question.
So I think, you know, lately especially, like as I'm getting older, like I've been thinking about like the future more because like only in like a few years, like I'll be done with high school, moving on to like the real world kind of. And so, you know, I think about it quite a bit, like more recently. And recently, just like this weekend, I was filling out paperwork. I got a job at my uncle's like electrical company. So, you know, that's like something I was thinking about doing after high school is like kind of electrical, like stuff like that. You know, so I just got a job there and, you know, think I could maybe like do stuff like that after high school or just exploring my options, you know, just want a good future.
Especially with like electrical trades like that, dude, those pay a lot.
I know.
Especially straight out of high school. You're basically set. And
I have a lot of like family that does that stuff too, so they could help me out a lot with like getting into programs and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
That's all like really good. I always I don't recommend college for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because of that, because I know like you can come out of college and be making less than the person that didn't go to college.
Yeah, because that's what I've kind of been thinking lately too. Because like, to be honest, like I don't get like the best grades, you know, because I don't exactly love school. I like sports and stuff more, but you know, I think trade school would be a lot better just for. You know, not having to go to school and, like, spending all that money in college. Like, if I were to get a scholarship somewhere to play wrestling, you know, I wouldn't mind free school, you know, to wrestle. But I wouldn't mind free school, like, you know, get a business degree or something like that. But I definitely would think about going to, like, a trade school after high school.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah.
Like, in college, you're going to be in debt for, like...
Yeah, that's another thing. They put you in, like, a financial checkmate.
That's true.
Especially with like they put you in debt with like loans that have interest. So like you have this loan and it says that's like you got to pay. I'm gonna say 100,000, but like after 20 years it's gonna be like way more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And like,
they
even
fuck
if
you.
you are making more money, it's like you have to pay with all that more money.
Yeah. So that's all stuff like especially next year when you guys go into your junior or senior year, you guys are gonna like learn about that kind of. Yeah. Depends on like who you have or whatever, but yeah, your teachers are gonna tell you that like, if you guys want to get like small loans, like if anything like small or none at all. That's my thing. I'm really not trying to get any loans, low-key.
Yeah.
What is like your current plan for? Actually, you both kind of explained that. What's like your life goal? So whether it's like a family, are you trying to start a family, trying to have like kids and trying to start a legacy, or are you trying to have like a good career, have like a good financial base, and then something like that?
I'm just trying to be successful and just have a happy life, because you don't want to live a dreadful life. And, like, yeah, I want to have a family, and then I just want to raise my kids, and hopefully they have a good life too, teach them right.
No, kind of same. Like, I just want to, have, like, a good financial situation, like, where, I'm making enough money to be, like, comfortable and, like, have a nice house, like, be able to go on vacations and stuff, like, have a good family, just stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
I just like what you said. You said that you just want to be happy.
Yeah.
So if you have like if your mindset is to be happy like in the future, like I don't really know, because I feel like when I think of happiness, I think of it as like temporary. So you're never gonna reach the happiness that you want. So what I always say is like you just wanna. It's really hard to explain like what I'm trying to say, but I want like for me, I want like a legacy, so that when I see it, I feel fulfilled instead of happy. So what I want is fulfillment instead of happiness, is what I'm kind of trying to say. So when I see my kids and they're successful and they have like families of their own, and they like they're, I don't want to say educated, but educated, but like they're successful in their own lives. I see that brings me fulfillment, and that's more eternal than just happiness.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Because I feel like happiness is just like a phase.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah. You got anything to add?
Happiness is just like a feeling, right?
Yeah.
But like satisfaction, that's like more than feeling, I think, in a way.
Because just like with like we were talking about like wrestling matches, like one day you win a match and you're happy. Mm-hmm. Next day you lose a match, you're sad. That's life.
Yeah.
That's how life works. So if you're just always striving for the happy, I mean, you do want to win matches, right?
Yeah.
But eventually, when you're a champion, you're gonna have fulfillment. I think so. Mm-hmm. I mean, I that's kind of how I see it. I don't know. So, do you think it is important to start a family or like a legacy? Like, how important?
That's a good question, because well, like, that's a good question. Do you want to answer that first?
Sure. No, I think to me it's like, it's pretty important, I'd say, like to start a family, like have, a good wife and, have kids. But, just like be happy. I don't know. It's like, it's kind of hard. Yeah, it's, just like fulfillment, like you said, like, just be like, just fulfilled with your life, like just have a good wife, have a good life. Like, don't want to have kids too early or anything, then you're in a bad financial situation or whatever. And you don't want to be like unhappy with the wrong girl or anything. Just kind of do what's right for you and find what's right.
I feel like the legacy is important in like a way, because, well, I don't know how to explain it, but like I feel like your kid would want to be a better man than you, because like I want my kid to be a better man than me.
Yes, of course.
So
of course.
I want the legacy to be there, and like I want them to start their own legacy and just have their kids be a better version of them and just go down.
Of course, yeah. So when I look at like college and I look at my future like that, I see myself building a foundation to have a good financial situation for my kids. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? So I don't look at it like I'm looking for like the happiness. I'm looking for the foundation for a legacy. You know what I mean? That's basically how I look at it. A lot of people are just like, oh, I want to be a doctor because I like helping people. I like being. I want to be a salesman because I like to sell. It's just like stuff like that. Whereas, like I want to do this because it's going to set a good example for my kids. It's going to provide a good financial base, and it'll make a good life for them. So that's. I mean, I kind of look at it a little bit differently, but that's how I see it. When you guys do have kids, what sports would you want them to play? Would you want them to do football and wrestling, or would you guys want them to do like other stuff?
Well, I mean, I want my kids to try wrestling, I mean, I want them to like it.
I mean, I want my kid to like try out a bunch of sports, not cheerleading, but just like a variety of sports to see what they like. Everyone's different, but like I'll definitely put them in like football and like whatever. But I don't want them to start wrestling too early too, because I feel like it's really easy to get burnt out. Cause like you talk to some people like Jack, and like they're just like they hated like wrestling at like the end of their like high school. And I feel like at that point it's just like not even fun anymore. You just want them to enjoy it. So just put them in everything, see what they like, see what they enjoy.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you were kind of talking about like your fear of your kid going into cheerleading. This is kind of I'm kind of talking on like I'm going into like some deeper questions here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking on like a bigger scale. What's like your biggest fear for like the future? Whether it's like, oh, like the government's gonna do some shit, or like stuff like that, or like aliens, or like like stuff like that. Like
okay. I mean, I feel like
climate change, or
I feel like my biggest fear is probably like, I don't know. Like I try not to really like worry about like that stuff too much, because like I can't do anything about it. Like I'm not the government, but like. I feel like probably like another war starting, like nuclear war, like, cause like I feel like that would just like not be very good, But I don't know. I try not to worry about that stuff too much, cause that's just things I don't have control over. Like I try to worry about stuff that I have control over.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And like stuff like that will probably happen like out of my time, so I don't really have to worry about like climate change. I mean, I kind of do. Like, maybe when I'm like... Yeah, but, like, I'll worry about that when it's time to worry about that,
Yeah. Do you guys think that it's real? Because I know a lot of people think that it isn't.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is real because, like, the polar bears and stuff.
Oh,
like, it's like... There's, like, facts that's, like... It's Antarctica. It's, like, melting and stuff. And, like... Statistics.
Yeah, no, like, the other thing I think about, though, with that is, like our Earth has gone through a lot of shit, right? Mm-hmm. How much? I mean, I don't know. You can probably prove that it was humans that did that. I mean, I'm not gonna say that we didn't, but like Earth has gone through a lot of shit. We've gone through ice ages. We've gone through floods. We've gone through like extreme conditions throughout the history of Earth, right? Mm-hmm. So, what's climate change gonna do? I don't see it. Like a few degrees warmer, I don't see that harming our people. You know what I mean? I don't really know if that sounds good, but
yeah, I mean it makes sense though, cause like a few degrees will not like harm us in any way.
Yeah, I mean with the polar bears. So I saw this. Have you guys seen like the picture of the polar bear that's like super skinny, and he's like in grass or whatever?
Nope.
It was like National Geographic. So I saw like somebody who was talking about that, and apparently that polar bear that they use as like the picture of starvation for like all polar bears, and like how like everything's melting and all that. So that polar bear that was like the poster child apparently had cancer, and he wasn't actually starving. So National Geographic like used it as like a fake to get people to like buy subscriptions and shit like that. So I was like, bro, like some of the stuff like that people tell you, it's like they have like a hidden agenda that you don't even know about, especially when it comes to like huge corporations and shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of like fake news and there's just a lot of people who want to like make problems and like say problems are a lot worse than they really are, just because they want attention and like make people scared really.
And profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all that stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
So we're talking about this crazy future. I mean, we did mention climate change, but I mean, there's a lot of other shit that's gonna be in our future. I mean, that'll be in our lifetime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how are you guys gonna protect your kids from this type of future?
Just kind of make sure they go down the right path. Like don't like get involved with the wrong people. Like, in like ways like, drugs and alcohol and like just like weird people, you know what I mean? Like kind of like the losers of the world, like,
I can tell you're trying to be careful.
Yeah, like, just like the wrong people, you know, just like want to keep them on a good track in life and just stay healthy.
Of course, yeah. You got anything to add? How would you protect your kids from like a world that's getting very dangerous, maybe degenerate, or like unsafe?
Like unsafe, as in like.
As in like I don't want to say like school shootings, but like like it's just getting more, I'd say, more dangerous because like especially with like fentanyl and there's just like a lot of stuff going around. I think the number one cause of death for like kids our age is gun violence.
Well, you just gotta teach them right, and then surround them with like good people, because like that'll just like keep them in the right mindset. And you have to teach them what's right, teach them what's wrong, and then I don't know.
Kind of like how to avoid it.
Yeah, how to avoid it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I feel that. Do you guys think that sometimes people like over exaggerate how dangerous the future might be?
That's a good question. Well, I feel like people are worrying a lot. Like, there's stuff to worry about, but like sometimes you just gotta just live. But like,
I feel like the world is like, it's like changing and evolving, like, but like I feel like that's always how it's been. Like, the world's always been changing. Like, there's always been dangers in the world, whether there's always been guns, like there's always been violence. It's just gotten a little worse, but I feel like people do like overreact a little bit, but we never really know because that's the future. Kind of just gotta live in the moment.
Yeah.
Live in the present.
100%. Like, I feel like every generation before us is always like, shit, next generation, they're gonna be screwed.
Yeah, I feel like
and then they
everyone
come out
says
fine.
that. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I feel like just, everyone's different. Like,
Yeah.
Every generation, comes out a little different, because things change and the world changes. But change isn't always a bad thing.
Yeah, I think, shit, actually, no. When I saw like it was like a picture of a beach, like 20 or 30 years ago, and it was like all skinny people.
Yeah.
Right? And then, have you seen that picture? Where it's just like, and then like it was like this year, like very recent. They had like the same beach, and it was just like everyone was obese.
I mean, there used to be fat people back in the day too, but like,
but it was
like
it's way more common.
It is more common now because I feel like it's like just more normal now.
Yeah, so I think that kind of changes.
Like, it's not, but
that's another thing you can teach your kids. Is
yeah,
how to, like you were saying, how to be healthy and all that. You know what I mean?
Just gotta put them on the right path with sports and everything. Just staying healthy, staying active.
Yeah, I agree. So, do you guys think that? What do you think is more likely, that like the end of Earth? Do you think it's more likely to be the humans' fault, like us, like I don't know, like humans in general, like pollution or whatever, or maybe nukes, or maybe something like that? Do you think like that is more likely, or do you think it's more likely to be something in nature, something outside of our control, like an asteroid, or maybe like the sun or something like that?
I think it would probably be more likely that I'd say nukes, because like, I mean, I've heard like a lot of things, like there's like a lot of nukes and stuff. Like, if like people just start nuking each other, nuking like every like country, then like, a lot of people start dying, and like I feel like that could end like in like the world like ending. But like, you never really know. Like, there could be like a big asteroid that comes down and kills everyone, but you just never know.
I feel that.
Yeah, that's true. You never know. But I feel like the world ending is like,
I feel like it's a low chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at least in our like generation and in like our lifetime.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna. I don't know if it'll happen in our lifetime.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of people think that it will, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Hell, they thought that in 2012 that it would happen. You know, like
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Mayans and
Yeah.
shit. But nah, it didn't happen. So
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm still here.
Uh-huh.
I was born in 2004 and I didn't die in 2012. So yeah, that's crazy. When it comes to like Armageddon, what do you think it would look like though? Do you think it would look like nukes, or do you think it would look like something else?
I feel like it would probably look like nukes, probably. Like just war, because people, just can't agree on stuff. And people just come like more violent, like, every year, and like think, that like violence is the answer, which sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. So yeah.
So, do you think there would be a point where, like with overpopulation, stuff like that, do you think that there will be a point where we start, I know Elon Musk is talking about like colonizing Mars. Do you think that's like actually a possibility? Do you think that it's a good idea? Or do you think like we should stay on Earth?
I mean, I feel like we should stay on Earth, but I mean, if it's possible to live on Mars, I mean, like, there's gonna be people living on Mars, Like, why not? Like, if I'm, like, a billionaire, why not own a house in, like, Mars,
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be dope, bro. What about you? What do you gotta say?
I feel like probably not in our lifetime, but, like, sometime in, like, the future, like, it will come to a point where, like, we gotta, like, go to Mars or something like that, like, to find, like, different housing or, like, whatever, but I feel like in our generation, at least our lifetime, like, it won't, like, have to happen, but, who knows, like, with the technology.
Yeah. So do you think that if we start, like, colonizing other planets, right? If you think about it, if we start colonizing other planets, do you think we could ever go extinct? So like the number one thing like that we could go extinct would be like nukes on Earth. That's what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we colonize another planet, we would kind of like alleviate that likelihood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true, but like, I feel like it would take so long for like that many people to like be on like a different planet that like
Yeah.
like it would just be like such a long time before like many people like go to Mars and like actually start living there, because they'd have to build like housing, like transportation to there, because right now like it's like millions of dollars just to transport like a few people, so it would just be it'd be really hard to get that many people on there to like really make a difference. But
have you ever like thought about how, I mean, I know a lot of people think that like the moon landing is fake. I mean, I kind of think it was real, right?
mm-hmm.
But a lot of people think, we haven't been there in a long time, so why haven't we been there more recently, since we have more better technology and all that? So what do you think? Do you think it was real, or do you think it was fake?
To be honest, I have no idea. Like, I think it was probably real, but like I feel like money like was maybe like the biggest factor in like not going there again, because like they obviously, if it was real, they probably did explore like quite a bit of it while they were there. So like I feel like they just haven't like found the like time yet to like go out on like another trip there.
Yeah,
because it's a lot of money.
Yeah, and there's like really nothing to do once you get to the moon.
Yeah, like you just like look around like, oh.
I think it'd be better for us to go to Mars.
Yeah.
Like there's no point to spend all that money to go to the moon
Mm-hmm.
and then be like, we're at the moon.
Yeah. Like,
what's next?
Yeah.
Like,
then you're just there.
But yeah, like once we go to Mars, which Mars is a lot farther away, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I know the moon's obviously closer because it orbits the Earth, right?
Yeah.
But Mars got to be like, you must have to spend like way more money just to take a trip out to Mars, and I can't imagine like the how you even do that, like.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just really, really expensive, and like you just need the right type of like aircraft or whatever.
Yeah, you got to think Like, cause when I think about it, I don't know if y'all have seen like The Martian and shit, but yeah, it's like I don't know how you take off from Earth, and every planet's like orbiting and stuff, and it takes a long time. It takes like weeks or months to get there or something, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like what's the possibility that you just miss? Like, is it a straight path, or is it like you're going this way and then you turn a little bit, you just like keep doing that?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like once you get like out of the Earth into outer space, then like, you kind of have to like look for it, because there's really like no GPS to the Mars, so you can't really just like go in like a line and just like kind of have to like look for it and
so
kind of find your way.
Get out there and you got like a telescope.
Yeah, then you gotta look for it, then fire off again.
So,
I guess, I don't know.
I'm talking a long, long time in the future.
Yeah.
And we already colonized Mars, and we colonized a few other planets. Do you think it's possible that we would evolve to adapt in that environment? Like, what if we grow like longer legs, or we grow like fucking like gills or something, or like, I don't know. Like, what? Do you think that's possible? Or I
think it definitely is possible, because like, evolution over time, like, like evolution, whatever. It's, the world has just evolved, people have evolved, so I don't see why it can't happen again,
Yeah. So. I feel that. You got anything to add?
Like, I feel like we will evolve, because we already evolved, because technically our toes, like, or my bad, but like our toes are like they're all like together like this, when they used to be like this. So like we kind of evolved to like a certain point, and like
it's just something that takes a long, long time.
Yeah, right? And just like we're like generation after generation, we're just like all getting taller naturally. Yeah. Every generation is like becoming taller. So like we're technically like all evolving.
I think that's also like something that has to do with race too. Because I know, like, some, like, there's always, like, short Asians. There's always, like, tall. That's true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's, like, it depends. It really depends. Because, like, if you keep, like, nowadays, there's a lot more races that mix. There's a lot more mixed people out there than there are, like, other full-on white, full-on black, full-on everything else. You know what I mean? So I think that also has something to do with their height. You know what I mean? Like, over time. But yeah, when it comes to evolution, I'm just trying to imagine, like, you're looking at the humans that went to Mars, like, 100,000 years ago, and their skin color changes or something like that, and that'd be crazy. Yeah, can you imagine that?
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Like, this guy has, like, blue skin. Like, what the hell? Or maybe he has like 3 fingers. It's like, what the hell?
It's funny.
That'd be crazy. Just because of like the adaptation he made to the environment. Yeah, maybe he has like a big ass head. Maybe he looks like the aliens we think of when we hear alien. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, like, you were saying, like, if you were a billionaire, you might go there. Do you guys think that you would actually go there if it happened in your lifetime? Do you think you would actually go into space and then live on another planet?
I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't live there. I was just like, when I'm like 90 or something, I like nothing to do. I mean, I might as well just go like see it before like I'm gone. It's just a little vacation to Mars.
That's funny, bro. What would you do there?
Look around. I don't know. I'll try to like, I don't know. Maybe I'll just get buried like on Mars.
Get buried on Mars.
Get buried on Mars.
Yeah. Martian marriage. That's crazy. You got anything to add?
I mean, kind of just the same thing. I don't know if I'd really go there, because, like, in this lifetime at least, it'd take like so long to get there that like I feel like at that point it's just not worth it. But like they built like some crazy rocket ship that like took you there in like a couple days or like a week or something. Like, I feel like it'd be kind of cool to go when you're like really old. So yeah.
Now, have you guys seen the movie? What's it called? Passenger?
No.
Shit. So they do it where like they like freeze you or something like that, or they put you in like a tank, and then when you go there, when you go to like a planet that's like super duper far away, you just wake up from the tank and you're like the same age.
Really?
So it has you. It's like, you know, like those cryogenic shit.
I think
Those
so.
cryogenic like ice chambers or whatever it's called, where they just freeze you and then you're just preserved.
Yeah.
So something like that, and then you just wake up and you're on the other side and you're good.
I've never heard of ice chambers.
I think I've heard of like rich people doing that, which is crazy.
I've seen it in like movies and stuff.
Yeah, no, I
But,
think
like,
it's real.
It's real.
I've
I never
heard-
knew it was like actually real.
I've heard.
It's alright.
Yeah, no, but I heard like, I don't know if they're already doing it, but I know that some rich people will like go into one of those cryogenic like chambers, and then they'll stay there because maybe they have like a terminal illness or something that's not curable now. But then they'll wait like years and years and years, and then like, I'll wake up, or they'll get woken up by like people that work for them, and then now they have a cure for that illness that just got invented like this year.
I mean, yeah, I feel like at that point it's just like unless you're like really young and about to die and you have like a lot of money, like I feel like if you're old, like there's really just no point.
Die.
Like just die and see what happens in the afterlife. You know, I feel like that's kind of the cycle of life.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I can't. There's no point in preventing death once you're that. Like,
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's inevitable.
Like,
Like you're gonna die anyway.
Yeah, death is gonna happen eventually. So you know, just let nature do its thing. Don't be scared of death.
That's I was. So when you think about death, right? And you think about like when you go into a casket and shit. I don't know. There's something about it that I'm just like, bro, just put me in the ground. I don't want to be in a casket.
Yeah,
I
I feel
like it's against nature. That's against like how we're supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like getting buried like in a casket, like with your body. I feel like that's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like your body's just gonna be underground forever, just like rotting.
Yeah.
So I feel like when I want to die, I probably want to be cremated, just put in the ashes.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, bro, just when I die, just like, bro, put me in like your backyard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like,
like,
you know,
dude,
when I'm dead, I'm dead. Like it doesn't matter like
I don't care
where I get buried. You don't need to spend like $1,000 on a casket or whatever. Like, just it's whatever. Like, I'm dead by then.
Yeah, I feel like you're preventing like nature from running its course.
Yeah.
You're supposed to give back to the environment and everything, but when you go into a casket, it's like no, everyone away from me. It's like you're trying to keep the worms away from you, from like like helping the dirt or whatever, and then like that dirt grows grass or like trees or whatever. But when you're in a casket, it's like you can't do any of that. So we were just talking about like the future and like all of that. Do you think that wrestling and like combat sports are gonna be like still a thing? So personally, I think this is what I think. I think that when you look at like the future, combat sports have always been there because I think they're like the most pure. That's what all sports strive to be. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I think they will prevail and be like the sports. Yeah. Will at least be there, present in the future.
I agree. I think that like combat sports like have a possibility of like growing to be like one of the biggest sports. Like, instead of like football, baseball, basketball, like soccer. Like, I feel like combat sports could really like get more popular just because like how it's like how pure it is and just how it's just one person versus another person. I feel like it could really like be one of the biggest sports one day.
Yeah, I want to see that so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think combat sports will grow because they've been growing, but like it just depends on like if people are gonna still want to do combat sports because you don't know how like the generations are gonna be.
Because like even if you look at like the UFC or like wrestling like 10 years ago even, like it was just like so much less popular, and then now it's just like big like UFC debuts and like a bunch of people are spending a lot of money on them. And then for wrestling, like it's just like really big now, or it's at least a lot more big than it used to be. So yeah,
I feel like that part of that is people in those organizations have built a name for themselves. So I think another thing that you gotta add to that is that with combat sports is the fans go for like the big names that are in it. So you know when people were boxing was real big when Muhammad Ali was fighting, when Mike Tyson was fighting, when all those people were fighting. So UFC became big, right? When all those big names were fighting and all that, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it always has to do with, like, it's the same with all sports, I think.
Yeah.
Whenever there's like a good team that's been winning, or somebody that's like on that on the come up, and they're like the rookie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, America loves those kind of people.
Yeah, because, like, no one's going to, like, go watch, like, a basketball game when it's just, like, a bunch of scrubs. Like, who goes to, like, G League games?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, everyone wants to watch, like, the best of the best and, like, people who are really, really good and, like, make a name for themselves.
Of course,
yeah. They just want to be entertained. So, like, they just want to watch someone that, like, put on a show. That's why, like, for example, Conor McGregor, he's loved because he knows how to put on a show.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Yeah, I was watching Joe Rogan, and he was talking to Israel Adesanya. And, bro, yeah, that guy, he's so cool, bro. Both of them are cool. I don't know. But yeah, like, I learned a lot. So I actually watch a lot of podcasts. And it gives me ideas for these.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's basically where I was going with that. But what combat sports have you guys paid attention to? I know you mentioned Conor McGregor, and you guys have talked about UFC a little bit, but like what combat sports do you guys pay attention to?
I just like watching the UFC with like friends. It's fun to watch.
Do you watch it like regularly, like once a week or something like that? Or
no, not regularly, but like whenever like just like friends like ask to go watch. I like watching it.
The same for me. Like, you know, I like watching UFC with friends and everything. You know, just highlights sometimes too on TikTok or whatever. But, you know, I watch wrestling on YouTube sometimes, like quite a bit. And it's fun to watch, you know, just good wrestling, just cool moves.
College wrestling.
Yeah, college wrestling. You know, and just, you know, boxing like a little bit, but not as much. Like, you know, some of the big name fighters, like, you know, sometimes I'll watch a little bit, like highlights or whatever.
Yeah, I feel that. I mainly just, bro, UFC and like Mike Tyson clips. Mike Tyson clips are crazy.
Yeah.
I try to like learn his style, and it's so hard. I can't. Like, I got a bag over there, and I try it, but it's like the peekaboo is so hard to do. But yeah. So, you know, like this podcast, what have we talked about? We talked about your childhood, like elementary school age, and then we talked about like a little bit about wrestling and the camps that you guys were doing, stuff like that. We went through high school a little bit, and then your plans for the future. We talked about the kids you're gonna have and all that, and how you're gonna raise them. You know what I mean? And then your fears for the future. We talked about climate change a little bit. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about, you know, like the future with planets and like living on other planets, and then we talked about combat sports at the end, which is like fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I like to end each of these podcasts with the advice that you guys have for other people about life, wrestling, lifting, anything that you guys are into. If you guys got advice about it, I recommend you share.
So like my main advice is, you know, like everyone's different. Everyone has like their own things they want to do, like whether it be sports or like, you know, whatever, like job or career, or, you know, want to have a family or whatever it is. Like, you just have to set goals for yourself and set goals for your future. And, like, you know, just strive to be the best version of yourself and, like, achieve your goals. And just keep setting goals for yourself. And just don't get distracted. Keep working hard towards your goals. And, you know, you will succeed.
Hell yeah.
My advice is fall in love with the process. of anything you're doing. Because, like, you want to do what, like, you enjoy, and, like, fall in love with the process will make the process better, and, like, it'll help the outcome. It's it's short, but
yeah, no, but I feel that, because if you don't enjoy the process, then I mean you said Jack and shit. That's funny, but yeah, he's what I think of when you don't enjoy the podcast or the
process.
When you don't enjoy the process and you end up you're like well, why did I do this? And then you just burn out. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. You gotta enjoy the process, and then once you enjoy the process, you'll enjoy the outcome. Or you just always enjoy the outcome, but you keep doing the process and you don't enjoy it.
And falling in love with the process will, like, make sure you never give up. You know.
Exactly, because you'll keep doing it. There's no reason to give up. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you guys coming on. You guys had a lot to contribute. You had good stories about wrestling. You had some good advice at the end. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming on. So thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Goal Swell Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to drop a like. And if you plan on listening to any future episodes, make sure to subscribe and click that notification button.